Welcome to your Montana Legislature Week in Review, brought to you by MPAN, the Montana Public Affairs Network. It's the end of the 5th week of the 69th Montana Legislative Session.
That every single child, no matter their income level of their family or their academic proficiency, should have enough educational options available to them that they can find one that is their perfect educational fit.
We are here because we believe in the power of education and the fundamental rights of parents to choose the best path for their children.
And now we've got a bill up this afternoon that we'd invite you all to stay here for and testify if you want. It's the next big bill in the move towards school choice.
House Bill 320 was heard in the House Education Committee.
MAPS is a privately funded tax credit program that every K-12 student can access to pay for education options that will best fit their needs. MAPS allows for educational assistance up to about $7,000 annually. The program incentivizes donations up to $200,000 annually with an aggregate cap of $4 million.
MAPS is a uniquely Montana program. This is unique. We're not seeing this in other states, but it's designed to conform with our constitutional system that guarantees, that focuses on enabling each and every student to reach their full educational potential.
This bill would divert already scarce resources from our students' educations. This committee is poised to make significant progress in addressing Montana's school funding crisis. This bill would set us back by siphoning those tax dollars away from the general fund.
HB 320 violates the Montana Constitution, specifically the non-delegation section. We believe this bill delegates to the MAPS Council the power to define qualified educational expenses with no guiding principles or guardrails.
Many of our rural schools are already operating on a shoestring budget. Starting a new parallel system of funding education could have devastating effects, especially in those rural schools.
We believe this program will eventually turn into the fraud and waste that you're seeing in Arizona, and we oppose this bill. Thank you.
You can track the progress of House Bill 320 and any other bills on the legislature's Bill Explorer.
Members of the committee, you now have for your consideration Senate Bill number 114. Clerk will read the title of the bill.
Senate Bill 114, introduced by Phelan and others, a bill for an act entitled an act requiring the display of the 10 Commandments in each public school building and classroom.
Wednesday, the Senate discussed Senate Bill 114.
I'm here to urge the passage of Senate Bill 114, which would require classrooms of Montana to display the 10 Commandments.
I just don't know how you can require this law on Indian reservations.
In our precepts, we say, we claim the privilege of worshiping Almighty God according to the dictates of our own conscience, and we allow all men the same privilege. I'm really not for a mandatory display of the 10 Commandments, and yet I support them.
These are basic principles that when you take the whole idea of religion out of them, they are the bedrock of what we are as a nation.
It's confusing to school districts. It says they have to do it, but then it says that they don't have to use funds to do it, that they could get donations. You know, if I say to my seatmate over here, you have to have this piece of paper, but I'm not making you buy it, are we asking our school districts to steal these posters?
This bill will ensure that our children learn about this country's founding principles and that they never forget that the United States is one nation under God.
The question now arises on the motion of Senator Phelan that when this committee does rise and report after having had under consideration Senate Bill number 114, they recommend the same do pass. As many as are in favor of the motion signify by voting aye. Those opposed vote nay. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change his or her vote? If not, the clerk will record the vote.
Mr. Chairman, 25 senators vote aye and 25 senators vote nay.
With 25 voting aye and 25 voting nay, Senate Bill number 114 fails to pass.
Mr. Chair, I move Senate Bill 114 be indefinitely postponed.
24 vote aye and 24 vote no. What does that mean?
Mr. Chair, it just stays on second reading.
Stays on second reading.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a substitute motion to move Senate Bill 114, refer it back to Senate Judiciary.
Motion is to take Senate Bill 114 and take it back to Judiciary. All those in favor vote aye, and those opposed vote no. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change his or her vote? If not, Secretary, record the vote.
Mr. President, 26 senators vote aye, 23 have voted no.
With 26 voting aye and 23 voting no, the motion has passed.
You can check for updates on Senate Bill 114 on the legislature's Bill Explorer.
Let's face reality, folks. We already have a partisan Supreme Court in Montana. They're nonpartisan in name only.
During the governor's State of the State address, he laid out plans to reform judicial elections.
And Montanans have a right to know the values and principles of the judges they elect.
This week, a number of House bills on that topic made their way to the Senate Judiciary Committee.
So repealing this statute will finally allow political parties through their committees to financially support judicial candidates directly, out in the open, transparently, and with accountability.
Being able to take part in judicial elections and donate even in such a minor way would let us be able to tell people we support certain judges because their vision actually aligns with the clear written word of the state and federal constitutions.
The biggest risk we have with partisan judicial elections is when decisions are made not on the basis of the Montana Constitution or law, but on the opinion of party lines. And that is a risk Montanans should not take.
Today I bring for your consideration HB 169, a bill that will allow judges and judicial candidates to do several things that they are currently prohibited from doing by the Code of Judicial Conduct. And that would be attend or purchase tickets for dinners or other events sponsored by a partisan or independent candidate for non-judicial public office.
Judges are not like a representative body. They can only hear the facts of the case and the parties put in front of them and then rule on the facts and the law, not public sentiment or opinion.
Legally allowing judges and judicial candidates to attend dinners and events sponsored by political organizations and partisan candidates will help keep intact our Montana small community culture of gathering as neighbors to enjoy each other's company without excluding someone because they happen to hold a nonpartisan office or are running for that nonpartisan office.
To learn more about House Bill 39 and 169, follow the links under our YouTube video or visit the legislature's Bill Explorer.
Members of the committee, you have before you for your consideration House Bill 176. The clerk will read the title of the bill.
Madam Chair, House Bill 176, introduced by Manus, a bill for an act entitled, An Act Revising Wolf Hunting Laws, requiring an unlimited gray wolf hunting quota when the wolf population is 550 wolves or higher, requiring the Fish and Wildlife Commission to authorize during the unlimited quota the issuance of multiple wolf licenses to applicants, the harvest of an unlimited number of wolves by a single individual, the use of bait for wolf hunting or trapping, and the hunting of wolves on private land outside of daylight hours with the use of artificial light or night vision scopes, requiring data consistency in determining wolf populations using integrated patch occupancy models, and amending sections. Madam Chair.
I'm not going to go over this bill line by line. I think we've skinned this cat pretty well. I do want to speak to just kind of the difference here, what we have on opinion of the wolves. I know that my counterparts on the other side believe that they like the more wolves. They believe that the numbers are fine, whereas many of us here on this side want to see the rules from U.S. Fish and Wildlife enforced a little better and those numbers brought down. What we're proposing is to follow U.S. Fish and Wildlife with this bill, give our Fish and Wildlife the tools and the directive to make that happen.
Wolves serve a valuable role in keeping the ecosystem in balance and promoting our healthy deer and elk populations. Yes, we need to actively have wolf management, but this bill is narrowly focused in its attempt to minimize numbers in Montana, regardless of any other considerations. I actually urge you to vote red.
Point is that so far the commission has not been setting these quotas to allow the wolf numbers to drop, and so let it be known, legislative intent, we want the commission to set the quotas in the state so that these numbers can start dropping down to what is the intent of the law in 2021
I appreciate the debate. I look for a green vote, and thank you for your green vote. This is something we need to do to give FWP some more tools to get these wolf numbers down to a manageable level. Thank you.
Madam Chair, 57 representatives have voted aye, 42 have voted no.
You can follow House Bill 176 as it moves on to third reading. That's all for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. As always, links to everything discussed can be found in the description of this video on MPAN's YouTube channel.
I have a wife who we moved back up. No, we moved back up from Texas. Okay, so she had time there, but she doesn't have 27 years in the retirement system in Montana. I'm not suggesting I'm putting her back to work either, but how did you arrive at the 27 years? Because some people at 27 years are maybe close to dying. So why do we pick such a narrow group of people?
Do you foresee there being some kind of a compromise where that it kind of eases the concerns of some of the people that are attempting to live off of their farms and that are worried about the effects of this bill?
Mr. Chairman, let me just see for a second. Yes, I do see an amendment coming.